Oops. What is going on, guys? Ink Jedi here. Welcome to this episode of the Comic Book Fiend Club presents the Fiend Cast, a very, very special episode. Firstly, I want to wish everybody listening a very, very Merry Christmas. We're here with a very special episode. Of course, I am your guy, the Ink Jedi, but I'm not alone tonight. Coming from halfway across the world are my international brothers. Go on and introduce yourselves.
What's happening, guys? I'm J2K, the president of the international chapter, coming out of sunny Scotland.
I'm Scott, vice president of the international chapter, coming out of London.
Hi, I'm Collie, Comics Closet, coming out of Northern Ireland. I'm one of the newbies, by the way. The boys are laughing at my accent here.
This is great.
We started already.
And just a heads up to everyone watching. Man, real big shout out firstly to you guys. We were supposed to do this last week where, it'll still be early in your countries. But I had some issues going on and, I'm glad we could get together. Thank you. Right now it's like 1, 2 in the morning over there.
Yeah, 1:30.
Jeez.
It's pretty late.
Awesome, man. So let's get the show started. Let's get ready to go. Jay, I'm gonna hand it over to you, brother.
No worries, man. First of all, thanks for having us. Aye, so we are the international chapter, just recently started up. As you can tell from all the different accents, we come from all over the world. We got introduced because it used to just be Canadians and Americans, mostly Americans, in the Fiend Club, but we wanted to branch out. It's something that I've been working on for about a year and a half, and a lot of us had put a lot of work in. So we always get asked, so come on the podcast, introduce ourselves, try and get you to understand our accents, which is the hardest part. But asked all the time, where we're enrolling. We're enrolling worldwide now. So if you guys are interested and you are not from America or Canada, hit us up. Our enrollment's in April, which, as everyone keeps telling you, and we were talking about earlier on, it's just round the corner. This is the best time to get talking to us, best time to get to know us, and even just seeing what the club's about. We're not just always interested in enrolling, we're interested in meeting new comic book geeks all across the world. So just hit us up. Even if you want to just come to a con with us and you don't want to wear the patches, we're still happy to meet up, talk comments, and talk shop.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You don't have to be in the club to talk to us.
Yeah, definitely.
That's right. You don't have to pay a fee to talk to us.
That's the best kind of secret.
Oh man. Well, thank you guys for coming on. I really appreciate it. That's the one of the amazing things about this club. I remember when I first enrolled and first joined, J2K was actually one of the first guys I talked to. And I didn't even realize he wasn't in America. He's like, "Oh, I'm international." I'm like, "What? You're in the West Coast though, right?" That's what I thought. But somehow geography in this club is all fucked up sometimes. So, but I'm glad that we were able to link up, man. It just goes to show like this connection we have through comic books and through like just geekdom in itself. It's not just an American thing or Canadian thing. It's a real international thing. So I'm really happy that you guys are starting to get the ball rolling over there. And next thing you know, April will be here right around the corner, and hopefully getting some more new members. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, spot on. Like as you say, we feel more a brotherhood in it, and well, sisterhood, because there's also a lot of females in with us as well. And we keep saying it's like a family, and that's what it exactly is. We are a big happy family, well, dysfunctional happy family. I say you don't need to be wearing the patches to talk to us. We're happy to speak to everyone, and as you say, the connections you make. I've spoke to guys that are from all over, and I get comics sent to me, masks sent to me, you name it, from all over the place, and it's brilliant because it helps so much. If you're looking for a comic, I sent Chad, who we all know for this show because he's on every single week and talk about I sent him a comic because it was a UK exclusive. So again, and he sent me a Batman book. I'm just kidding. He sent me a Batman book.
I got a Batman book from Chad.
Oh,
It was beautiful.
Awesome. So what are you guys reading? What are you guys into? What's going on? Well, I don't know what you guys. I don't want to know what you guys are into, but I didn't know what you guys are reading.
First of all, I prepare ropes. No two. Oh, sorry. That's right. Aye. So we'll start with the main one because we've all kind of talked this over and talked about ones that all the international chapter usually talk about in our chat, and that's Batman White Knight.
Yes.
I think everyone knows this book because it done huge this year. So many people got into it. I was actually a latecomer to it myself, so I got the full volume, the graphic novel, and I was blown away by it. It was superb. I mean, this is a book that, for me, I had people who rarely read comics come up to me and be like, "Have you read White Knight?" And I'm like, How have you read it? Like, you don't read comics.
Who are you?
Oh shit!
It was superb. I think everyone it's a fan theory that's been going about for a while. To be honest, is what happened in it. The whole let's make Batman the bad guy. I know he necessarily wasn't the bad guy, but it felt that way. It felt like the fan theories we've heard for a while, and it was superb. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but I just couldn't put it down. Which is hard when you've got a screaming baby in your hands.
Well, to be completely honest with you, I mean, I love Batman as the bad guy. I've always thought of Batman as a bad guy, but he just does right things every now and then. The whole approach to it, yeah, it was fantastic. The only thing that I can actually say that I didn't like about it was Jack Napier. The name. I think they should have just kept it completely mysterious. They shouldn't have mentioned who he was or where he came from. He talk, as everybody knows right now. Like, I mean, it's come on 2019, which is kind of weird and fantastic at the same time. But Batman fed him a load of not crazy pills, like sanity pills. And he took it and he came back and he became this character, Jack Napier, who he was before the Joker. But the whole story, like, it blew me away. The different takes on characters, like Duke Thomas, he was from, he came in, he was a lot older. Who else have we got? Nightwing, Barbara. They're now working with the GCPD in their squad. I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it. It's been so long ago. I read it issue by issue.
Was it GTO? I think they were
That's
called.
what it is. Yeah, GTO. I remember it was the GTO. I read it issue by issue. But even the all-around story, the story was great. I loved the fact that, there was Harley and Harley, who then began to be the Neo Joker, which was pretty cool. I mean, I think I wrote a few words on my Instagram page about that back when I was reading it first. Give a quick origin on her as well, but that was, it blew my mind away. But what I loved the most was let me remember here. Sean Murphy, wasn't it? Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, correct. Yeah, Sean Murphy. I mean, he made Batman. If you look at those sketches, you look at the pages on it. Boom, Batman, brute. He's amazing. Yeah. He's a force of nature. I haven't seen that in comics for a long, long time, since, dare I say, Frank Miller. But that's in the 80s. Yeah. But man, it was absolutely fantastic. The story was great. I can't wait for the sequel.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say. I've seen a couple of sketches coming from the sequel. Azrael,
yes,
one of my favorite characters.
Yep.
You know, don't know which one we're getting, mind you, but it'll be fantastic.
I'm sure. I agree. I read it as well. I think it's such a well written story that like I was like Jay, much where like I jumped in later on,
Hmm.
and I was like everybody's like, no, you need to really read this book. Excuse me, you need to really read this book. It's really good. Check it out. It's like it's a fantastic story, and I'm like, all right, I'll pick it up. So I started picking up issue by issue, and the more I read it, the more I'm like, okay, I dig it. And then you brought up Sean Murphy. He was talking about like, yeah, he wants to bring in Azrael. He wants to start adding all these different characters and doing things with them and exploring all these different relationships. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope hopefully once it comes out, we could read it and come back here and talk about it again. But he's really good. I really enjoy it. It's one of those, I think, books that a lot of people slept on in the beginning, and then once they started reading, it kind of hooked them into it, and they just, okay, they invested themselves into it. It's probably one of the best books DC, best stories DC has brought out. This year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've had so
definitely.
much Batman stuff. It was good to have something a bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, well said.
that's it. Also was like a one-shot story, so to speak. So I doubt we'd see it, but we've seen the Killing Joke get made animated movie. That'd be perfect for an animated movie because it is a one shot. You could do
Yes.
that in an hour and a half, or
And
even 2 hours at a push. But it's that one shot, and then the story would be done.
but
And
even
again, it could happen.
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say a sequel could happen, animated
sequel-
wise. Well, if it's
well,
good, but we'll see.
Yeah, the sequel will happen. We know that.
Aye,
But
totally.
if they keep the whole essence of what is going on there in the White Knight, put it on animation style, I would. No, DC in general, when it comes to animation and when it comes to movies, their cartoons or whatever, it's next to nothing. Marvel's
than-
got theirs. Sorry.
Other than Ninja, that never happened.
Other than Ninja, we'll scrap that. I've already repressed that in memory.
Oh God.
But as I'm saying, they're next to nothing.
Mhm.
Marvel's got their strengths. DC's got their strengths. DC's is animation. That's my opinion. Might not be everybody else's opinion, but when it comes to DC animation, White Knight would be fantastic, and that's their strong point, and that's where they should go with it.
I have Evan Fernandez in the chat. He's asking, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate that Batman, that White Knight?
Jay, you take it first.
I'd say an 8.5, and the only reason I'd say putting it down to 8.5 is the Neo Joker thing. As much she was good, and it did become good, but see at the beginning when I was first reading her, I felt like it was Joker's daughter all over again.
Yep.
And I was like,
Yeah.
not this pile of piss again, because the Joker's daughter was so crap, man. And I was like, this is what this is feeling a wee bit like. But it would go better. It'd go better as you read it.
Yeah. I'd probably give it a solid 7. Just solid 7. I have no qualms with it. It was a great story. I completely enjoyed it.
So you
I
get a
love the
7.
artwork. What?
So you get a 7. I really
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
no, no, no,
Brilliant.
no.
So it's a 7.
That's
I
good
really,
shit.
I really did enjoy it, but
You just went on about how much you loved it.
I
and
thought
giving it-
Yes,
I thought
yes,
it's
yes, yes.
usually the Russians that give the lowest score.
7's a good solid number, man. 7 is a good solid number. The only thing is, as with any Batman fan, I think they'll agree with me. Joker stories are next to none. Joker's used best when he's spread out. I just think within the past couple of years, especially, Joker's just been bump, 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 thrown in our faces. Just spread him out a little bit. That's the only thing. And that's not Sean Murphy's fault. That's just, he's just
Right.
bad timing when it comes to it. But
Right.
I do think it should be spread out.
Yeah, but I think once Snyder brought him back for the whole death in the family one,
Yep.
and just everyone loved it, which was great. It was superb. But then for there, they were like, "Oh, everyone enjoys Joker, so let's keep giving them Joker and keep giving them Joker and keep giving them Joker." And it had that whole Spider-Man feeling. where you've
Yeah.
got like 20 Spider-Man
You're
books, and
just
you're like,
50
oversaturating the
Jokers.
market, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
definitely.
And don't get me wrong, I love the Joker, but I just think dial back on it just a little bit, so that in 1 year, maybe 2 years, bang, we'll have a great Joker story again.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
definitely.
saying.
Sounds good. Um, I would give it an 8 too. I mean, it was a great story. I think it's gonna get even better. So hopefully he keeps building on that momentum, and he seems excited to write it. Like I saw a couple of interviews, and I think when you have someone that's excited to write a story and really are like investing themselves into it, they're gonna do a killer work.
Oh yeah.
The fact that he done so much work on his own as well is just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Guy pretty much ran the book himself, which just blows me away completely.
The guy's incredible. So he is. I mean, in the artwork, I keep coming back to the artwork on it, but I'm not a big statue. Jay, I've got one statue in my collection. Sean Murphy's White Knight is gonna go there. Like, it has to.
Okay.
Really.
Mhm.
I mean, one of the biggest parts for me in that book was seeing all the different Batmobiles as well. Not the first Mad Max ones, they were cool. But later on in the comic, they showed us the 66 Batmobile again, and we got the animated series one, and it just
Yes.
so cool.
When they did the complete Batcave like run round, oh, it was unbelievable. It was class. Even seeing the tumbler there was it was kind of cool. It was like, not a big fan of the tumbler, but oh Jesus, that was our generation. We seen the Dark Knight, bang, the tumbler's there. It's class.
Mm-hmm.
Aye, they were a good two movies, eh? Because there wasn't a third one.
You guys, you didn't get it in your country?
No,
Never go to another country.
Yeah.
wouldn't pay for it.
Oh my god!
Too bad, man.
Gosh, I didn't even watch it. Like, I tried to sit down and watch it one day. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. I couldn't sit. It was really unbearable, and I hated it so much.
I watched it once, and then I thought I'll rewatch it, give it a chance, put it back on. You're like, this is terrible, man.
But
Like,
I can totally give like a summary of Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight. It'll be an unpopular opinion, but it's I think he started with the best one, Batman Begins. I don't know what your opinions are on it, but it went Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and then we'll just forget about it. But that was my opinion. I mean, people shout out, and Heath Ledger's performance of Joker was absolutely fantastic. It was, but was it really as good as the first one?
Right. I mean, I think for me, like, he did a killer job. The dude was a great Joker. He improv'd a lot, and he really got into his character. Like, his character was great. It's just everything else going on around him wasn't the best, I guess. Like, you could have a great character and give him a great story, but if everything else around you isn't as good, then it's gonna take away from whatever that person's trying to do. Like, my favorite part of that movie was just the Joker. If that makes sense.
Yeah. That's the only thing people remember about it.
It didn't even feel like Gotham either. That's the other thing. Like, I felt like the first film, you felt like you were in Gotham. It looked like Gotham. It had that dark feel. The second one felt like just a central city. It felt a bit like Metropolis when you're watching it.
It just went too wide and it just didn't feel like Gotham.
Right.
So that
dark and pretty.
all I'm saying is Liam Neeson, Irish. Woo.
Yeah, that first film, I watched it twice in the theaters because it was so good. It's rare where we could get a really good backstory movie, and talk really about, usually when we get a Batman movie, he's already Batman, and they talk a little bit about his past, and they always show like his parents getting killed or whatever, but they rarely get to like. My favorite part was when like he started training, with Liam Neeson and then the twist at the end with Ra's al Ghul and everything like that. I mean, it told a really good story, a real good origin story, let's say. One that you rarely see in the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The only thing was, because of the era that we live in right now, the internet says everything. We knew the twist before we went into the movie.
Yep.
But apart from that, fantastic. Can't fault it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That is a flaw we live in now, is the internet kind of ruins everything. In fact, one of our guys, Connor from the international chapter, doesn't watch any trailers. I don't know how he does it, being in the Fiend Club, but he doesn't watch any trailers so that he
That would
doesn't
drive me nuts.
It's funny because Paul does too in the East chapter. Nora's Messenger, like he doesn't watch trailers at all. Like I'll post it in the chat. He's like, I'm not watching it, and I guess that's for the better. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I wouldn't be excited to see like Avengers trailers, but I really want to see them to see if like, you know what I mean? Like, but
you've invested so much time into them. You want to see, are they going to do a good job in the next one?
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think it's better to like, you know, I wish like they would show only one or two trailers, but like they show nothing. Like I would still want to go see like even more now, right? Because that's a movie like the last one left you so devastated, and you still carrying that feeling over. Like I don't want to watch a trailer and see Spider-Man swinging around, because then I'm like, well, fuck, like he's back. You know what I mean? Like
that's why I don't want to see Far From Home.
Right.
I don't want to see it.
Right. I don't want to see it, but that's a movie I'm looking forward to. Like, oh fuck, Mysterio's gonna be so badass, dude. Like, that dude's gonna be. I mean, now with with the technology we have today, it's gonna be stupendous, dude. I can't wait.
Oh man, that is. I'm so buzzing for that. So buzzing.
It'd be fantastic. Can't wait.
Well, I kind of wish I never watched the Hellboy trailer.
Did you not like it?
No, well, I mean, it doesn't look as good as I thought he looked in the pictures, but then it's still early days, you know what I mean? There's still
a lot of CGI that can be done.
Right. I think that was the general thing I've heard was like his face or his mouth, and I'm like, okay, I guess. To me, I think what surprised me more is like they set a really weird tone for this movie where it's like it's gonna be a comedic action film. To me, like there was a lot of comedy in that trailer. Very like Guardians of the Galaxy started some shit, right? Like James Gunn started some shit with these movies, because you know they did it with Guardians, then they did it with Thor, right? Thor Ragnarok was a totally different movie for the first two films, and now something with like, to me, Hellboy, like Guillermo del Toro had it right. Like it should be a dark film. It should, like, you have your comedy here and there, but that shit's dark. It's supposed to be dark. I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I hope it's good, and I hope like it's not gonna be something that's gonna be goofy or too goofy or whatever. But like Del Toro's film was like spot on. Like I felt like Del Toro's like, all right, I'm gonna just read all these books, and then we'll make a movie based as close to this as possible, and that's what he did.
And
yeah.
And the sequel was fantastic as well.
Definitely. I'm just glad I never got.
Yeah.
That's what annoyed me. It just refused to give us a trilogy.
But every time I look at Hellboy now, it has to be permanent. Has to be.
Right.
This new guy, I can't remember his name. The new guy that's doing it.
Hopper. Well, Hopper is his name in Stranger Things, but what's his real name?
David Harbour.
Yeah, David Harbour.
Who? Sorry.
David Harbour.
David Harbour. Yeah, I still want to see permanent. I don't know why. I just think he embodied the character. Like, he just looked the part. He's ugly as hell, you know. Why change something that wasn't broken?
Yeah, he was great too. Like, just his face. Like, his face was very square to begin with, right? Like, he had a really square face, and it looked like they didn't need to apply a lot of makeup on him. And then, like, he had a very good voice too. Like, his real you know, like, he had
40 cigarettes a day. I drink a load of whiskey. Yeah.
Right, pretty much. That's how he prepared for the role. And like, that's, you know, he was great. I really enjoyed it. The story was awesome. You know, you had Ape Sapien in there. He was great. You know what I mean? And then it's just like, after that, it was kind of, you know, now with this film, I don't know. I'm gonna watch it.
Yep, definitely.
Just out of duty, but. You know, I'm not gonna even try to say, oh, I'm not gonna like it. I try to go into movies very optimistic, right? Because I don't want my hopes too high, or I don't want to set my hopes too low. I just want to go in there. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, then I'll complain about it online like everybody else.
that's the day and age it is, man.
The keyboard warriors.
That's it. Go right on Instagram.
Well, look. Apart from that, I think the next big thing this year that came along was metal. Scott
Yeah,
Snyder, metal.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what you guys thought, but I thought, like, I don't think Scott Steiner can do any wrong.
Mm.
I don't think he can.
Right.
The Batman that laughs, he's got a lot of spotlight from that in particular metal series. There was a lot of other Dark Knights on it. Jay, I see you want to jump in and say something. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, I think he gets spotlight because it's a Marmite situation. You either love
Yeah.
it or hate it. You know what I mean? Like, Batman Who Laughs is some of us are like, he's cool as fuck, and then the rest of us are like, oh man, this guy is so crap. I mean, I love him myself, but there's no middle ground. No one's kind of like, oh, I don't mind him. Everyone either hates him or loves him.
Right.
And I think that's what
Personally, I love him. I think he's great. I think he's fantastic. I hope he's not, like I said, with the Joker, I hope he's not an overused character. But he's fantastic. Metal in a whole, to me, was a crazy story. Like, we had Baby Darkseid. We went and we found the 10th metal. The Monitor was involved. I didn't expect that. That was a big shock for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But my favorite parts, I liked them all actually. The only one I didn't like was Morrison's what was it? Wild Batman Wild Hunt. That was the only one I didn't like. Especially, I liked all the one shots of the particular origins for each Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker was the best one.
Which one? Sorry.
Dawnbreaker, the Green Lantern one.
Yeah, that one was really
Followed
good.
by, I think, the Cyborg one. What do you call him?
Murder Machine.
The Murder Machine. Yeah.
Murder
I
Machine.
thought
Yeah.
his was really good. It was very sci-fi. It's not usually my thing, but when I was reading it, I was like, yes, this is unbelievable.
I mean, to me, like, how fucking smart like Snyder is, right? Like, he has a way of connecting anything he writes together into this one big thing, like his own universe within the universe, right? Like, he's like, well, this is where all the metals were, and as you're seeing them, it's like all books like you have read, right? Court of Owls, and you're like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, in your mind, you're like, it makes you want to go back and read it because you don't know if he had the shit set up or if he's just like saying, yeah, he, you know, he found, you know, he encountered this particular metal here, like, or he's just making it up. But to me, that was one of the coolest parts of the book. Like, Dark Knight's Metal was a series I read twice, because the first time I was a little confused, and the second time, like, okay, now this shit is starting to make sense, right? Then you have like the Batman Who Laughs, who, like, to me, Batman's scared of this dude, right? And Batman's not a dude who's scared of much, but he's scared of this guy. He's like, this guy scares me because he is me, just without the morals or the fucking, you know, everything else he has. He has my intellect, he has my training. He just doesn't have what makes me me, which is, you know, my you know, I don't kill, you know what I mean? My morals, I want to help people. He's the complete opposite, you know? And I mean, it was good. And then I really enjoyed the way they used Plastic Man, because at first I was like, what? Like, first of all, Plastic Man to me is one of the coolest fucking heroes. I love this dude, right? So when I saw that, I'm like, it felt so out of place to me. Like, I'm like, this book has such a serious tone, and he's like, Plastic Man, and I'm like, what? And then it all makes sense at the end when he starts just wrecking shit. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, okay, I see what Snyder did there. But it was a great read. I did like some of the tie-ins, some more than the others. I did like the Drought. I like that one a little bit. Murder Machine.
I like the Gotham, the Gotham Resistance.
Yeah.
Excuse me, my voice is going a bit. Woo.
It's okay.
Yeah, I like the Gotham Resistance. The whole labyrinth thing. It was pretty cool. The whole cards that had a bit of power. I thought that was pretty cool. But Snyder, I've said it to the boys before, and I'm going to say it here again. Snyder, to me, is this generation's Jeff Johns. I just see a load of nodding heads here. I don't know if they agree with me or not.
I agree.
Oh no, definitely. I mean, as Jedi was saying, like the guy, it's as if he has his plans laid out. Like we're just getting the comics now, but it's as if like when he first started, he already knew metal was coming around the corner, and you're like, man, how? Like, what is going on in that head, man? Like the guy is so crazy, man. But it was on the Fat Man on Batman podcast with Greg
Kevin.
talking about making Batman. He was saying that like when he was first approached today, like what they said was year one, and he was like, nah, I'm not doing that. I can't touch anything with the name year one in it because that's sacred. So that's how they ended up with 0 year, because originally they said, oh, day year 0.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like, still too close, change it about. This dude was having panic attacks thinking about if he's got to do Batman. And you're like, man, that's a comic geek through and through, and you're so
Oh, yeah.
To me,
I couldn't imagine doing it myself.
Right. To me, it's a dude that really respects like those people who came before him. He's like, this is sacred to me. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm gonna build upon it. I was reading a comment. The best had to be Batman Who Laughs one shot, making Superman murder his family. That shit was tough.
Oh,
Like, holy crap!
yeah.
You just reminded me of that. It gave me a flashback. I mean, fuck, dude. Like that was brutal. Like terrible. Like this Batman Who Laughs dude is tough. And now that, you know, he's I mean, this is not an Elseworld story, right? Like now they're in the universe. Like you are a part of this canon now, right? The Dark Multiverse is here to stay, and now, you know, it's leading to all these other books coming out. Like it's a really exciting time to be a comic book fan because of all these great stories that are coming out. Snyder is just like going all in and really again, if you're excited to write something and you're a fan of it, you're gonna do a good job. You know what I mean? And Snyder seems like the type of dude that's just like, he's gonna respect whatever's before him and then just create on top of it.
Yeah, man,
sorry guys, I know it's like 1:30 in the morning here. I can hear my child. Give me 2 seconds.
Aye. While he's away, I suppose we'll have a talk for a while because the dude's sitting in silence for a while. You're going to talk about X-Men Red, I believe.
Yeah, I think I'm probably the only one that reads X-Men, right?
I've trying to catch up. I'll be quite honest with you. My pull list is rather backlogged. But yeah, no, go ahead, go for it, man.
Well, X-Men Red is really good. I mean, X-Men Gold, X-Men Blue, they were okay. They kind of fell off, got boring, you know. But X-Men Red, Jean Grey's back. You know, it's really good.
Did they explain how did she come back? Did they explain it? Or?
Well, yeah, they did that whole Phoenix resurrection tie-in, where the Phoenix came back and he told it to do one, got rid of it.
Was Gold and Blue the one where they all got married and shit?
Yeah, I think someone got married in Gold, right? I stopped reading Gold.
Did you? What was it about it that turned you off?
Just nothing was really happening. I don't know if they gave up writing.
Who was writing that book?
I don't know. I don't know when they switched writers. I have no idea, but it was, for me, it was pretty shit. But X-Men Red, they kind of they started it like a rebirth. Like this is where we're starting the X-Men again.
Nice.
Again.
Well, you would think, right? Like if Disney or Marvel, whatever, are getting rights, right, back to make some of these movies, they're gonna have to start investing in some of these titles too, right? Like X-Men and Fantastic Four, which we're seeing now, right? But you would think that they would need to start building those universes again.
Yeah, I mean, nobody buys a Fantastic Four book, do they?
Except me. Listen. Fantastic Four is my favorite group probably ever, and I do it just out of loyalty.
Yeah.
But no, I understand what you're saying there, because out of loyalty, like the Flash title right now is a bit poops, like, but I've collected Flash since I was 10 years old, like, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to keep collecting.
I'm the same with X-Men.
Right.
Like, I've always collected X-Men. I always will. even
Right.
when it's been complete.
It's still something
Yeah.
that holds a nostalgic kind of like real
Yeah,
heartfelt feeling inside of yourself where you're like, I don't want to let this go. Like, I
No.
love this
no,
thing.
I don't want to
Yeah.
spend money on it. I have to.
Yeah, we're really turning new geeks onto it, eh? Like, just buy books.
No,
I don't
but,
even like them, to be honest. But
don't
because
like
they're
them.
on it, try to
no,
buy
but
it.
read X-Men Red. It's good.
Aye.
Oh, definitely.
What, Scott? Why I have you here? Like, we've got X-Men Red, we've got X-Men Blue, we've got X-Men Gold. What's the difference? I can't understand.
That's a great question.
Well, X-Men Blue was the original team.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not the original team. It was past them in the future original team. And then
So
X-Men
typical
Gold. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Good work, man. And X-Men Gold was the kind of giant size X-Men team.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then they brought back Jean Grey. So then they started X-Men Red. And now they just started Uncanny X-Men again. Which
There
I
was a
haven't
black
seen.
in there too somewhere, wasn't there?
And Cyclops is back.
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh.
Let's all rejoice in the fact.
Is
that
he still
Cyclops
wearing
is back.
Nightwing's costume?
No.
No, okay.
No, he's going back to the Jim Lee costume.
Nice.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
They're gonna do him
respectable.
right. They're gonna do him right this time.
Fantastic.
Nice.
90s Jim Lee.
Hey, dude, I'm thinking like who's killing it right now in Marvel? I mean, storytelling wise.
Well, none of us have been reading it. Unfortunately, Connor couldn't be on, but Connor has talked my fucking ear off about Spider-Man now. He just keeps on and on about Spider-Man, how great it is. It's fun. So I was kind of wanting him on, because unfortunately all I can say is Connor says it's good.
That's great. I mean, I know
Yeah.
Kate's has been doing his thing, but
That's
I
what
think
say. I think that's
they
great.
got him stretched out over a bunch of books, man. Like he's
No,
writing a ton of shit
Yeah.
Mate,
for
that's
Marvel
going to
right
kill him. That's going to kill him. You know what I mean? Dude's going to end up dying in a corner if he's doing 50 books a week.
now. Kate's and Jason Aaron, I heard too. Little Boz and Mike said Jason Aaron. What's Jason Aaron writing? We'll find out from these guys. Because like I said, I've been so like just caught up on DC lately that
Yeah.
I haven't really paid much attention to Marvel. So,
The last,
Marvel's been the
the last
strongest.
Marvel one I read was the rundown to 800 Spider-Man, the Red Goblin saga. That was the last one, and it was fantastic. It was brilliant.
it was good.
Yeah.
Avengers.
But
Aye, in fact, I started reading that Avengers, and then someone forgot to send me my books. Isn't that right, Scott?
I hear you. What?
Scott's like, you're not getting these books until you read X-Men Red, all right? Oh man. But yeah, man, it's I'll be honest, it's really been a lot of fucking Marvel. I mean DC, like especially with this Dark Knight shit. Then you have the whole Justice League, the different Justice Leagues fucking splitting up, and then
3 of them.
yeah, and
Three.
it just all makes sense. And then fucking Brainiac coming down is like, I'm gonna help you guys, and I'm like, this is some shit. Like, I was like,
Man, honestly.
I mean, it's been good, man. To me, like the Dark Knight story, leading into that Justice League stories, leading into like that culmination of, when they're about to destroy the Earth and the Green Lanterns, and then just opening that rift between, you don't know what's coming through it, what the fuck's happening, and now you have the Batman who laughs in the DCU, the DC canon, in stories, and he's here now, right? Like he's in Gotham. You know what I mean? Like it's a wrap. I mean, do you guys want to talk about that first of the series of the Batman Who Laughs?
Oof.
Oh man.
Oh,
I
stop
read
it.
it.
It was a crazy issue to read.
Yep.
I don't know about you, Jay, but I opened up. I've got it right here. I opened up the first pages. I started reading it. And I was like, right, got a good Batman story here coming. Obviously, Snyder does no wrong in my eyes. Jock is one of my favorite artists. We got into the book. You know, we've got Batman's chasing down a couple of guys. Blah blah blah. I don't want to spoil it for you, Scott, at all. But man, I'm gonna have to spoil it. I can't, I can't talk about it without spoiling it. Like,
Just do it.
Wait, hold on. Before you do that, so spoilers ahead for Batman Who Laughs No More. So if you haven't seen it yet or read it yet, or you don't care about spoilers, then you can stay in. But if you haven't read it, just dip out for a little bit because we're about to get into it.
oh,
Plus, understand a word we're saying anyway. We'll just put our thick accent on.
Yeah, just go really Irish.
Just get
Go
really
really
Irish.
really
Full
Irish.
Irish. Go full Irish.
Drink a bottle of whiskey, you'll be fine. Anyway, do you want to take it from here, Jay, or do you want me to keep going?
Keep going.
No, you crack on, man. Crack on.
Oh man, right. So we've got Batman chasing down these guys. They're transporting shipment out of Gotham. Batman beats Batman. And he come on, does all that Batman stuff, and he gets to it. He's like, oh no, man. What are they hiding? So he opens up the case and all, and he finds a Bruce Wayne from a different universe. It's like, what? Mind blown. Completely. Bruce Wayne. Like, I am looking at myself right now. So, from there, it skips scenes to the morgue. And obviously, Batman being Batman dresses up like one of the doctors, and he's sitting here and he's looking at it, and he's looking at Bruce Wayne, and he's going, yeah, this guy has this scar, I've got that scar, this guy's got that scar, I've got this scar, but how long? It stops there. So he's sitting looking at it, and he's like, I've got this guy. And then he comes to the conclusion that after this Batman or this Bruce Wayne, we don't even know if he was Batman, we're just assuming he was Batman. This Bruce Wayne comes along. He stopped fighting crime after the Bane broke his back, obviously in the 90s. And he did something else. We don't know what, but instead of fighting crime as Batman, he went on as Bruce Wayne and changed Gotham and helped Gotham that way. So that's where we're left with that. So he's like, what is going on? Jumping on from there. I don't know, I'm trying to think here. Jay, help me out.
Well, so
are you going to go through the whole story?
Right.
So
this is why we said spoilers,
to me, like the craziest part of this story, right? First, Batman knows, like, all right, this dude was Batman after Bane broke his back. He went on. He ended up having a family. He said he knew this guy had a family because he had wrinkle lines from smiling and laughing. He said this Bruce Wayne was actually happy, right? It was. It was the funniest shit. I'm like, this guy is fucking. He definitely is the one of the smartest guys in the world, right?
Yeah.
Then we're introduced to a new character called the Grim Knight, and he's been around. I think he has some covers out already with himself on it, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, just basically like if Punisher and Batman would like combined.
Frank Castle Batman, yeah.
Like how they used to have. I don't know if you guys remember the. I'm gonna spoil
Amalgam.
this. I'm gonna amalgam when they did like Dark Claw and shit like that. So you put Punisher and Batman together. This is who you have. Fucking Grim Knight. A dude with more guns. I don't know
why they didn't even think of Punisher and Batman for the Amalgam series. That was
exactly
daft.
They did a team up. But they didn't.
They did, yeah. They did, yes.
Yeah. So, that's who you got. And then, like, reading the story, like, Grim Knight's a dude I want to read a story about. Like,
yep.
I don't care where they do it. I don't care if it's an Elseworld story or a Black Label story or whatever the fuck. I just want to see a story with this guy because he just looks so badass. I mean, he carries a lot of guns. Like, to me, it's like, wow, how do you move with all this shit you have on you? Kind of deal. But no, Batman Who Laughs, number one. I picked that up along with What else came out with that book? Batman Damned 2 I picked up as well.
Yeah.
King of Fears.
Yeah. Which again, like Batman Damned, I'm still like on, but this Batman Who Laughs is it. I mean, the ending. Once you get to the ending of the book, it made me wonder like what's gonna happen in issue 2, like where do you start off from that? Because now like you have a whole different set of things that's gonna be going on, and a new twist to Batman, and you know, it to me, I really don't want to fucking spoil it because it's so good. You know what I mean? Like it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot that happened where like the Joker did something that like in his mind he knew he had to do, and he knew there was no choice. Like if you want to overcome this, because like I was saying before, Batman's afraid of Batman Who Laughs. He's scared of him. He's you know, I mean, this is a guy that tortured Jim Gordon, like just like fucked his shit up. No, he probably even worse than the Joker did in the Killing Joke, right?
Yeah.
Like, this dude's like just opposite of Batman, but with all his skills. So I'm very curious to see like where the hell you going from here. How many issues is this run supposed to be? 4 or 5?
I think it's a 6.
The 6
Is
issues?
I think it's 5.
I don't.
With 5.
Let's just say one of what?
6.
1 of 6. Okay. So yeah, they're gonna have to tell a lot of story in those 6 issues.
Yeah.
Jay, what do you think?
I'm saying that is the first comic in a long time. I finished up and I just looked at the pages and I was like, what the fuck? You know, and that was it.
We said it in the chat the other day, and I was like, we're going to end up getting asked before we finish up for Christmas, what are you doing over Christmas? And the only answer will be trying to figure out what's happening and like that's all I'm going to be doing, is spending the rest of my 2 weeks sitting there trying to wonder where they're going next. Because as you say, I'm not going to spoil it, but the way it ended, you're just like, fuck. Holy.
It was just blank. My face just went.
Oh yeah, I definitely went chalk white after reading that.
Yeah. The first thing I wanted to do was get on to the boys and be all like, "Did you read Batman That Laughs?" And everybody's like, "No." And I'm like, "Oh, come on, read it already. I want to talk about it." It's great, class.
Yeah,
as you said, as Jedi said, though, it would be good to see a wee bit more of Grim Knight, like a Black Label, that put him on Black Label. Give him a one shot, that'd be brilliant.
Oh yeah,
that'd be so cool.
Absolutely. Someone said Colin looks like a well-kept Chad. Oh shit!
Cheers.
Man, that's funny. Let's see. With all the great Batman books out right now, I'm afraid people are going to sleep on Tomasi Detective Comics run leading up to issue 1000. First issue was very good. Anyone read that?
No. I read it the other day.
How was it? Tell us about it.
Oh, it was brilliant. It was fantastic. But there was a cliffhanger, and I've said it earlier in the show, and I'm not going to say anything else, but it's leading up to something spectacular. I've seen what's coming ahead, with glimpses of it. Excuse me, my stomach's going mad here. But, you know, the cliffhanger on it was... I don't want to spoil things, but I'm going to have to spoil things here again. Was a victim, and the victim was chuckling with Joker venom. Once again, like we're stuck in this whole abusing the Joker situation. Yeah. I've got Jokers here, I've got Jokers there, I've got Jokers in Justice League, Batman, friggin' now Detective Comics. There's Batman That Laughs. Sorry?
You've got the 3 Jokers coming out as well.
3 Jokers coming out by Jeff Johns as well. You know, I feel like
if Jeff Johns ever finishes Doomsday Clock, that'll be fucking great.
I know. I know what is going on
Talk
there.
about a book that I got hyped for and then lost the hype just out of boredom. It's like Watch Dogs all over again. That game that came out, like you
I'm
got
not
hit with
even
it.
interested in it anymore.
Takes
I gave up.
that you
You
just
gave
don't
up on
care.
it, Scott? Did you?
Yeah, I gave up.
I mean, was it the same for you? Where like you're reading this, you're good, but there's just way too many breaks in between books. Where like by the time I get the next book, I'm gonna forget everything that happened before, and I'm not
Yeah,
gonna be
because
interested.
It's
That
like
near happened to me
once
with
a month.
the Master Race. Sorry, Scott, go
Once-
ahead.
once a month for like what, a year? I mean, it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that's what it's like.
Yeah,
I can't do
12
it.
monthly issues. No.
And that happened with me
I-
with the Master Race. I near just stopped completely. Frank Miller, I don't care. Like the guy was taking forever with the Master Race. There was postpone after postpone after postpone.
Do you think it's just because like you know Geoff Johns has like you got the DC? Do you guys get the DC app, the DC streaming service?
We don't get it.
You don't get it yet. So he's involved as that. He's involved in like the Teen Titans, the Swamp Thing. He's gonna be involved. He has his hand on like so many different things, where it's gonna take away from like what you have to do. What he should have done is this. He should have taken 6 months, just fucking written the whole story and get it out the way, and then do all his other executive things that he had to do. That's what I think's going on because, you know, I was watching Teen Titans. I think they just finished up with the last episode. I didn't get to watch it, but Dollar Bin Bandit went ahead and ruined it for me. So shout out to him for spoiling Teen Titans, the ending. And but you know, he was helping with that. He's helping produce these movies, which is great, right? Because you have a guy with experience who wrote some incredible books, right? I think his Green Lantern run to me was like one of my favorite runs ever. He's fucking phenomenal. But he's also doing he has so much shit on his plate where he's not getting all these books done in a timely manner where people are going to want to be interested in it, which is great because I guess he still really has a passion to want to write, but he has so many other duties now too where I understand that it gets in the way. What do you guys think?
yeah. No, definitely. I think you've got that spot on. We were actually talking about it the other day with it's going back to the Detective Comics 1000, which I said we wouldn't talk about, but it needs to be said. All these artists that are getting so much on their plate, certain ones like Jim Lee, who's doing all these variants, that most of them are brilliant, but because he's been so pushed, you've got this horrible 1000 cover. And I don't know if everyone will agree, but that cover just looked so bloody rushed. It looked shit. It's not a Jim Lee. I looked at it and I was like, man, that was just 20 minutes.
Yeah, no,
Like,
breaks my
Shat the bed with that one. Like, the dude totally shat the bed with that one.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening. It's these good artists, good writers getting pushed. And I don't know if it's forced or if they're just too busy saying yes to everything. Like, oh, sure, I'll do that, and I'll do this, and I'll do that. And then it just means that, as you say, this whole doomsday clock, one book a month. Think how many books come out in between that time.
It's not even 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're saying.
They did it with that Bane book, Bane Conquest.
Mm.
That was once a month for a year.
Yeah.
Which is
I'm so glad to finish that.
Which is fine, but like I said, it feels like a lot of. I remember when Doomsday Clock was announced. You know, I love The Watchmen. It was probably one of the first like comics I read that was like that, right? A little darker, a little more serious in tone. Like Alan Moore was a fucking genius.
Yep.
And you know, then I watched the movie. I was like, oh, whatever, you know. And then they announced Doomsday Clock, and I'm just like, wow, all this shit is making sense. The thing with Dr. Manhattan, and you know, it seemed like it was just going to be such a good book. People were excited. They had midnight releases everywhere, and then it had some good momentum, and then it stopped.
But they're running it at the same time they're doing Metal too. So
Mm.
Oh God, I didn't even
it's a
think
strange
about that.
move that they're doing two big books, but at the same time.
Yeah, Scott's right. Absolutely, that's what they did. So I
Rookie
mean,
mistake.
if both stories are good, I don't care. Like I'll pick them up, but you know, maybe they could have done like 1 month one book, the other month the other. You know what I mean? That way, it's like you don't have to worry about getting both of them and trying to keep up with both. I don't know. I just hope it gets finished. James said like 90% of the people now are just waiting for Doomsday Clock to be finished so they could, just pick it up and read it through. Me, I still have mine sitting there, and hopefully I'll finish it one day.
I've just got it sat in the boxes here, just doing nothing. I don't want to read it now because it's taking so long.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I mean, the button stuff was really good.
Sorry, Scott?
The button, that was really good.
The button, yep. It was
Yeah,
good.
the button was great.
Before Doomsday Clock. But this, it's just all taken too long.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Jeff Johns, what are you doing?
He's busy.
Help us out, buddy.
He's busy making Aquaman a hit. Aquaman, did you guys get to see Aquaman yet?
I actually seen it. Was it yesterday or the day before? I don't know. I seen it to prepare for this just in case somebody actually brought it up.
Yeah, we definitely won't spoil this one. Aquaman was great. I think they said it already beat out Justice League as far as money is concerned.
Yeah.
And
there's definitely a sequel.
Definitely a sequel.
Yeah.
Reaction was great. Jason Momoa was awesome. Who was the female that played Mira? Babe?
Amanda Heard.
Amber Heard.
Amber
She was great. Ocean Master was fucking sick. I mean, just a great fucking all around movie. I think it had a pretty good runtime too, but it did it.
Yeah.
When a movie is good, it seems to pass by pretty quickly, and that's what it felt like for me with Aquaman. Like it passed by pretty good, but it had something for everybody. Great story. Yeah, it was a great story. Go see it if you have not seen it. It was great. I mean, this month we got lucky with some pretty good movies. Into the Spider-Verse was really good too. So I'm glad Aquaman out of anything that came out, right? Like Justice League and Batman versus Superman, you finally have a movie that people enjoy and people like, and it didn't even have a super dark tone. They could have made it really dark, like he's your brother, like kind of bullshit. No, they didn't. He was just like, he's my brother. I'm gonna fuck him up, and that's it. Like you're gonna cut your shit. It wasn't a Snyder movie where it's like it has to be melodramatic and whatever, and it wasn't even over the top funny. It had a great balance of comedy and seriousness and storytelling and action. Phenomenal film. I can't wait for the next one. Hopefully, what's next? Shazam,
yeah. I'm looking forward to that though. I mean, I'm a big. You were talking about books that he's picked up. Like Shazam was one of my early reading books, so I've always loved Shazam. I've picked up the new one and I'm reading it to the Wayne, even though she can barely actually open her eyes, but she's getting comics read to her. I'm absolutely excited for this. I mean, I know Chad touched on it a couple of podcasts ago, saying that they need to get the top three sorted, like their Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman, before they get the rest. I think they need to gear up with that. It's like the Joker. We've had too much yet. Just leave them to the side. Go to the B-list guys. Work out your formula with the B-list guys. Once you've got the formula down, then bring in the heavy hitters. Once you know where you're at.
Marvel did it.
Well, aye, definitely.
Marvel did it. They had Iron Man, they had Thor, Captain America. Before Marvel Cinematic Universe came, people were like, who? Aaron who? Apart from comic book readers, obviously.
Yeah.
Nobody knew who they were. They knew you said Spider-Man, you're like, yes, bang, Spider-Man. He's the guy that swings from buildings, he spins webs, he can do whatever a spider can. My 2.5-year-old knows who Spider-Man is. He goes down on the floor and he's like, But Marvel rolled out the B lists back in 2000 and whatever, 2005. It worked out great. I think DC should start out with. They've got two strong starts. They've got Aquaman. They've got Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's not a B character, but
they did well.
But as in this day and age, Wonder Woman, she has broke so many boundaries, just like Black Panther has for Marvel. But Wonder Woman and Aquaman, I'd actually pay just to see the two of them. Fuck the Justice League. Fuck the Justice League. I want to see Aquaman and I want to see.
Are you saying you want to see the two of them fuck the Justice League, or
maybe just them?
I was going to say, because that's a whole different type of movie we were talking about there. Like,
that's funny. Yeah, dude. Like I said it last week too. Like we've had so many Superman movies, so many Batman movies. Like just shelf it for a little bit, right?
But even
just shelf it for a
One-
little bit and start focusing on some new titles. That's why Wonder Woman did so well. She never really got a real Wonder Woman film, right? The closest thing you had was the Sharon Carter spinoff in the 70s, which was great. And
Spinning round.
you know, and Patty Jenkins is just a really good director and who fought for her movie, right? Like we all know
Yeah.
that No Man's Land scene wasn't supposed to be in the movie, but she's like, "Are you stupid? I'm keeping it
That was
in."
the best scene.
And it was the scene, right? If you ask anybody
Yeah.
about the movie, what's your favorite scene? Oh, that scene when she runs across the fields, just starts cleaning house. That's what I feel like Warner Bros. has issues when it comes to that shit. Like studios, stay out of films, please. Like don't
Yeah.
fucking get involved because then you're gonna fuck it up for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you have Aquaman. Shazam looks great. You know they have the original costume. It's I have a feeling it's just gonna be a really good movie, and I think Shazam is supposed to be what it's supposed to be, right? It's not gonna be an Aquaman movie. It's gonna be a movie about a what? How old is Billy Batson?
10, 11. He's
In a
just
grown
young.
man's body. That's what you're gonna get. That's exactly.
And-
I expect Shazam to act completely like a child because that's
And
what he is.
Zachary completely can portray that. I mean, he is a child in a man's body.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Definitely. I mean, one of
Yeah.
my favourite animated scenes ever, like I love all the animated stuff, but is the Justice League when you first see Shazam meet Superman and he's totally kidding out. He's like, oh my God, there's Super-" But then when Superman comes out, he's suddenly like, yeah, yeah, no, yeah, I'm a man. And I was like, that's brilliant. Seeing this kid try to pretend to be a man and overdoing it. I want to see stuff like that. I want to see that in the film.
It
I want
reminds
to see
me,
a kid
reminds me
portraying an adult.
reminds me of that scene too at the end where he's like, you know, Billy lied to us about his age. He's like, well, I
Yeah,
didn't really
yeah.
lie, and then Batman was like, well, I knew. Of course you fucking know. You're fucking Batman, right?
Yeah.
And then Martian Manhunter's like, well, he has the wisdom of Solomon, and they're like, doesn't matter, he's still a kid or whatever. I mean, that was a great movie to begin with, and I hope to get some of that too. I don't know what superhero is gonna. We heard Superman was supposed to cameo in the film, right?
Yeah.
But then I don't know what's going on with this guy anymore. Like I don't know what's happening. But I expect
The last
someone to
thing
be
I
in
heard
there.
was Henry Cavill's still with it.
Is he?
Jason Momoa said, the last thing I heard was Jason Momoa from his mouth. He said, Henry Cavill is not done with Superman.
Oh, that'll be great. Because I do like him as Superman.
I like
I
him.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him.
Really.
It's another thing where it's just like you're trying to put too much into a story, guy. Stop it. Like,
Yeah.
don't put so much into. I mean, it's hard, man. Like Justice League in itself was a good movie. Superman vs. Batman was a very long movie, and
Yeah.
if you don't switch it up and if you keep the same theme throughout the whole movie, to me you're gonna bore the shit out of me. I'll tell you right now, my favorite scene, Batman vs. Superman, had nothing to do with Batman nor Superman.
No,
It was
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman pulling up, right?
Yeah.
And then the Flash making an appearance. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
That's it. Everybody
Don't
else.
get me wrong. I love that movie as well. Like I completely loved it. I just thought, come on, guys, we need to do something else here. Wonder Woman. Every scene that Wonder Woman was in, she just took it from click bang. She just owned it. I got sick of Batman and Superman.
Right.
I love Ben Affleck as Batman. I love Henry Cavill as Superman. But did we not just get bored?
Right. Yep. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Scott, did you like any of these Batman movies, Batman vs Superman or Justice League?
Batman vs Superman was too long, for sure. I like the scene. My favorite scene was Batman rescuing Martha.
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty cool sequence.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like Justice League at all.
Yeah, and Doomsday looked terrible too. I mean,
Yeah.
it did not look
Yeah.
great.
Baby Doomsday.
Doomsday,
There was no need for Doomsday to be in that movie.
Oh, man. No, it really wasn't though. Like
No.
you see that, like man, is this film not ended yet? You've
But
got a
apparently-
new film,
but
and a new
apparently
album,
from
it's
from Zack Snyder's own mouth, that was not Doomsday. Doomsday is somewhere else
really?
in the DC. Yeah, apparently so. That was Zod's day. That was Zod being Doomsday. That wasn't the Doomsday.
I never heard that. That's pretty interesting to me.
On
Huh.
Zach's own Twitter, I think it was.
Nah, he's just trying to cover up his fuck up. That's all
I
it is.
know.
No, that's not him. That's Zod,
It
guys.
got to that point where he was just like, you know what? I'll just say this now. I'm sacked anyway, so I'll just say this anyway. You know.
Yeah, dude. Like, oh man. He's like, no, that wasn't Doomsday. Doomsday's on the extended cut that they don't want to release.
Yeah.
Yep.
If they
Complete
release
cop
it.
out, man.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, guys. I can hear the child again. It's just so late in the morning.
It's all right. No
I'll be back in a
worries, brother.
second.
Oh man, but we'll see what they do, man. This is a big year for Marvel too. I mean, you got Captain Marvel coming out. You have Endgame.
Avengers.
You have Homecoming's coming out next year.
I don't know. I don't think so.
What's supposed to come out?
I'm
Are we
sure
only getting
Far
2
From-
Marvels movies next year?
No, I'm sure Far From Home's next year.
Far From Home.
There's a lot of films next year, man.
Yeah,
A lot of films.
shit. What's supposed? No, Star Wars is supposed to come out next year.
Yeah. X-Men.
Far From Home is supposed to
Yeah,
come out next year. Thanks, James.
X-Men, New Mutants.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
New Mutants.
I thought they canceled it.
No, they postponed both of those, right?
Gosh, I don't even know how I feel about that one. Is it like a horror film? Do we know?
I think so. It's supposed to be like a horror film, yeah. Different, for
That's
sure.
right. Wonder Woman 86, is it called? Or 84? I think it's the year of my
85?
birth. 85?
I think
80
it's
something.
Huh?
80 something.
Yeah, 84 I was born.
Oh.
My wife laughs at me because I'm old.
Old.
84, there it is. Yeah, that one looks good too, just because they're going to have the fucking invisible jet. I can't wait to see it. I think it's going to be so cool. I think, Patty Jenkins is great. I hope she keeps directing stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but Endgame is going to be the movie to watch next year, man. That one's, I think it's going to be 3 hours long. I think that's the runtime.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very fucking long movie.
Well, that's the thing. I seen an article today and asking what we got to see more money in Star Wars this year or more money in Avengers. And I think Avengers is taking it this year. Like Star Wars has kind of been dying out. I love all the Star Wars films, but this is the generation of Avengers. This is what the kids want to see. Is what the adults. I think Endgame's going to get swept up. I'm sorry for Captain Marvel because
Right.
she's coming out when Endgame's coming out, and that's got to be bypassed. I know she'll probably be in it, but most people aren't got to care about Captain Marvel. They're all about this Endgame, 100%.
Yeah, and to me, like, this is 10 years of build-up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this you could say, like, this is 10 years of, like, this is what it's going to lead to. This is the finale. This is where we're going to see, like, a change in... We're probably not going to have Iron Man. We're probably not going to have Captain America. Not saying, like, they're going to die or whatever. But I think you're going to see that those reigns passed over to, like, you know, you'll have Captain Marvel. I think Thor will stick around. You'll probably have Black Widow stick around and Winter Soldier and Falcon because they have nothing better to do.
Yeah.
Well, they've got a TV series coming up.
Well, you
with
have the TV series,
Disney.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which again,
So they
okay.
gotta stick around.
Right. And then you got
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch. You'll have Scarlet Witch and Vision. But I think we're gonna probably get more cosmic, you know, spacey shit. You know, Guardians. You'll have Captain Marvel. I think you'll probably get another Ant-Man. But again, like you definitely get another Black Panther.
Yeah, definitely, because that cleaned up in this ratings. Like that cleaned up.
Well, it did over here anyway. I don't know about the rest of the world, but over here it went bang.
Yeah. So I I think to myself like, my dog is over there making noise. I wonder who's gonna be the next. Who's gonna be the next Captain America? Who's gonna hold that reign? Maybe Captain Marvel. Who knows? I'm betting it's gonna depend on how well her movie does.
Nah, movie does, definitely. I mean, I think you touched on it in the other podcast when you're saying about Forrest sticking about. Forrest just found his feet. Like the first one was, second one was very, and then the third one, you started enjoying for a bit more. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, it's mostly because of Korg, but you enjoyed for.
And the dude got his hair cut, man. He looks a lot better.
I mean, honestly, would you guys? What are your guys' favorite Marvel films?
Oh, that's.
I'll tell you right now, Winter Soldier is probably my top. That movie was fucking good, bro. Followed by Iron Man.
I remember sitting in the theater watching Winter Soldier and being like, yeah, this is what I want to see. It's not so superhero-y. It's more spy, more Born Identity. You know, I love superheroes, like, but come on, for a movie sometimes you just don't want to see it. You just want to see a good fucking dramatic thriller. You know, it was great. Yeah, I ain't gonna go with one on this one. That was my favorite.
Yeah.
I've probably watched Winter Soldier more than any other Marvel film.
Yeah, I know. I agree, definitely. Although I have to say, I wouldn't say the movie itself is one of my favourites, but Iron Man, the first one, see just the feel when you went to the cinema and you kind of it all clicked. You left that cinema going, shit, Marvel have done it.
Right.
Marvel.
Right. Me and the boys went to the cinema and we came out of it and our jaws were like,
yeah.
Like, what?
I mean, Robert Downey Jr. was perfect for the role. He killed it, right? And I mean, that movie definitely started it off. For Marvel, big time. It's my second.
Blade did it.
Blade was awesome, man. People sleep on that shit all the time.
The first one.
Blade was so good. I like Blade 1 and 2, and then 3 I didn't care for like whatsoever.
Ryan Reynolds was brilliant in that, man.
Yeah, that's the
only thing. And then Wesley Snipes went away for tax evasion, so that was it.
He made up for the Expendables.
Oh man, he's great though too. Honestly, back in the day, fun fact, they were gonna develop Black Panther into a movie, and they were looking at Wesley Snipes to play the Black Panther, which would have been fine, but I guarantee you, like, it would have been like. It wouldn't be the right time, right? Because Wakanda is this awesome place with this most advanced technology in the world. I don't think they could handle a movie like that back in the day. No. It would have been fucking terrible. I mean, look at when he fought Frost and he became like that blood shit. Like, it was so bad. The CGI was so bad, man. It was so good, but so bad at the same time. It's like
I still enjoyed it. I think it's still one of my favorite. And my guilty pleasure is Blade Trinity. It's like I don't know why, but I stick on that show and I just sit there happy.
Gosh. Yeah, I watched it the other day too on Netflix. I'm like, all right, cool. I liked it. I went to the movies to actually see that one, and I was like, wow, I think it was the first like real Marvel film like I ever seen, and then I remember renting Captain America, which was like a really old movie that came out. Like,
yeah, I know the one you're on about.
I'm gonna probably post the trailer on the fan page, the Comic Book Fiend Club page, so you guys see what I'm talking about. It was like this really hokey movie, but the guy had the full costume with the wings, and he had the bike, and Red Skull was there.
Was that the one with the
big ass helmet? Yeah, dude. Dude had a big ass helmet.
Fighter.
It was, to me, it was like one of my favorite movies, right? Because it actually kept really close to the story, right? It was like, like they took it right from the comics, and you had Red Skull there, and he looked terrible, and then they gave him a face, which was even worse, right? And then, you see him fighting, and he has a shield, very colorful costume, like nothing what we have now. I'll post it to the page so you guys see what I'm talking about. But it was something else. It was something to watch, bro. It was terrible, but so good. That was my guilty pleasure, if you ask me. Like, that first Captain America movie. I forgot what year it came out. I want to say maybe like late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, I'm sure it was 70s. Like, I'm sure that was 70s. That was really old.
That's before my time, boys.
Yeah, it definitely
before my
was.
time.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So yeah, I mean, I guess everybody. I mean, we could all agree that the best DC movie to come out was fucking Suicide Squad, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
Leslie's Joker, that's a dream right there.
They could have made that better. I'm sorry.
By a
But
lot, dude. Honestly.
we've got Mr. Who I forgot now? Mr. Gunn for the sequel.
Supposedly, right.
Apparently so, and apparently it's going to be a complete reboot. Let's forget about that first one. It had redeeming things.
Aspects.
El Diablo was good. Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie. You got it.
Okay.
She was good. Will Smith was good. And then we had the throwaways. Slipknot. He was the best in the show. Love him.
That's so like I always had this thing where like DC had the best animated films ever.
Yeah.
Even their shows, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
to me, there's nothing that I really wouldn't watch that's animated. Some is hit or miss, but mostly they're hits, right? They had some great. So now I'm like, man, they really came out with a great movie. I hope their animated films don't suck now.
Yeah.
You know, I know you guys will talk about Batman Ninja. I'm an anime fan, so I dug it. I thought it was pretty cool. That's just because I'm an anime, but I think it's only because I love anime, right? Like
There was a couple of art scenes in it that I was actually like, oh, the art in that's pretty cool.
And then
But
it went,
the whole
what?
story, you're like, what? We had Transformers, we had Megazords, Power Rangers. Like,
Listen.
what was going on?
they had Gundams and shit. It was great.
You know, Batman should have just came in and just went
Oh,
Like,
end off.
I liked some of the art, but then when it went that watercolor way, that was so shit, man. That looked like a kid.
Yeah.
Man.
I was
Honestly.
actually ripping. I paid the $11.99 for it.
did you? Now I have it. It's sitting
Yeah,
here.
and then just to find out that Netflix had it on it 1 month later.
Oh shit, did they?
Ripping.
Yeah.
But I will tell you though, they killed it with Justice League Dark. That fucking movie was good.
Justice League, unbelievable. Well, my man Constantine's in it, like.
And it
Yeah,
had the
see,
same voice actor, right? The voice actor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
Matt Ryan.
Same guy.
Because I enjoyed that TV show a bit. It got canned, man, which sucked.
I loved it,
the
and it got
desktop.
to the finale or the mid-season finale, and it was just about to get good. I'd give the cliffhanger of the big bad, and just nothing. And now we're on to Legends.
Right. Which I'm glad that who was it WB or whatever decided to say okay, because I believe Constantine was on a different network, right? It was well in the States.
ABC.
It was NBC. So now they're
Yeah.
like, all right, we're gonna take you and we're gonna bring you over here. Now you'll be in this network. But they haven't given him a show yet. Which I think WB has Supernatural, right? Which has been around for like what, 12
15
years?
years.
15 years.
Yeah.
Long time.
Fuck. Throw Constantine, give him a show, and I guarantee you
Give
people are gonna
Constantine
watch
a
it.
show.
Give Constantine a show.
Give him the show.
Put him in Supernatural.
Supernatural has had good seasons and bad seasons, but it's been an emotional
been
roller coaster
constant.
for me.
See,
So,
I loved Supernatural until it got so far on, and I'm like, you know what?
Third
Who's
season.
coming to hell now? Because it's like each season, oh, Dean's away to hell this season. Oh no, Sam's
No.
away to hell this season. Oh no, Dean's away. And I'm like, man, this is the same fucking story over and over
I
again.
know.
They both died a lot.
Aye, definitely. And then again, we read comics, so we can't really say much. You know what I mean? Like, just that every fucking week and then come back. Yeah, we're like, no, you know what? Supernatural kind of day. That's no fair.
Oh gosh, that's so true, man. Show's only meant to last 5 seasons. Oh damn, really?
Well, fair
Yeah.
play to them. The boys got a good paycheck out of it.
If you remember season 5, they actually found the writer and all that, like who was meant to be the writer of God. They actually see if you watch
The
up
Prophet.
season 5. It ends so brilliantly, and you're like, that is amazing. The story's done, and then they're like, nah, we can make money.
You know what? We'll take this one in, and we'll take this one in.
And that's exactly
You know
what
what?
happened.
We'll keep the gravy train
Probably-
rolling here.
That's where
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
Sorry, before
Jeffrey
we go
D.
on,
Morgan.
that's where it was. It was season 5, and I just went, you know what? Fuck this.
It's so funny. Like, so my mother is like a she's very religious, let's say, right?
Mhm.
And like growing up younger, right, we couldn't watch anything with like demonic influence or whatever, right? She was nuts, right? So I go to her house and she's like watching Supernatural. I'm like, what's up? She's like, oh, the show is just so good. I love it. And I'm like, wow.
What you doing, man?
That demonic influences, Ma. You wouldn't even let me watch this as a kid. She's like, nah, the show is really good. You got to watch it. I'm like, okay. So she kind of changed her tune. Like, that's how good the show is, where, like, she just loves
And
that
that
shit
happens in Ireland too, because my mother was exactly the same.
We're talking about how Supernatural could be replaced with the Castiel. Is that the name of the angel guy in it?
Yeah.
Castiel.
Yeah.
He was actually
Constantine.
based off of Constantine. That's why he wears the long trench coat, and that's why he acts the way he does, is because he was actually based off of that. So, and if you
Yeah, what?
actually
He's my favourite
Hellblazer,
character.
if you read Hellblazer and then you watch a lot of the episodes of Supernatural, you can
Yeah.
see the stories,
You
and see the influence, and I think that's what's so annoying is Constantine got shipped out, but it was came on the wrong network who gave the death slot 10 o'clock on a Friday night. Who's in on
But
10
it also had the Amazon Prime slot over here,
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah.
it did. And
That's how-
Amazon Prime did not take off that well when the first season of Constantine was there. My wife, she's probably sleeping now, like, but she doesn't understand the whole thing that I've got with Constantine. she don't, it's ridiculous. And I keep trying to tap what?
That's because you make her dressed up as Constantine. That's why she doesn't make it.
Man, hope not.
Oh, shit.
No, but man, I've got. Well, I'm gonna try and find it here, but like, you look up. There's all the Constantines there. Like,
Right.
he's probably the second greatest character in comic book history for myself.
Oh, wow. That's big. That's
Second.
really fucking big. 2. Who's first? Who's number 1? Now I'm curious.
Well, see, number one's it's a weird one, and the boys know because it's not just one character; it's a mantle. It's my boy Robin.
Mm.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who it is. Every single one of them, from Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, to Carrie Kelly, to Stephanie Brown, Damien, they all bring something completely different to it.
Question.
Question?
When do you guys think we'll start seeing kind of like a supernatural-esque? I mean, we saw a little bit like an Enchantress, but I don't count that. Maybe like a more supernatural hero, like a Constantine or a Zatanna on the big screen. You know, where you start touching on that element of like paranormal.
Is Justice League Dark not still in the books?
I don't think so.
Well,
I thought when they mentioned that they were talking about the animated film.
No, Del Toro was on for it.
yeah, they did say they were going to make a live
He
action,
was
but
on. Yeah.
I haven't heard
problem
much
is-
from it. Like I haven't.
But what
DC
I
announced
heard,
and then they bombed. You know what I mean? Like they announced all these films trying to keep up with Marvel, and then they bombed, and they were like, "Yeah, we need to pull the plug on everything and get our stuff going." But it needs to be done because, like I say this all the time, I enjoy the Marvel films. Everyone enjoys the Marvel films. That's why they make the money.
Right.
But
Yeah.
they're all the same type of film. They're all
Yeah.
the action, out of place jokes.
it's all,
Funny.
yeah, the bad guy is the same as the good guy,
Yeah.
just
Well, that's-
opposite. Yeah.
But we need something different. We need something like that, and it would do well. I mean, again, they've kind of missed the boat. If they brought a film out like that back in Supernatural's hype, that would have raked in all the money.
But
but
again, I might be wrong. But is there not a Zatanna one?
I heard a rumor of a Zatanna film, but I don't know if she's gonna be in that Gotham City Sirens movie. I don't know if
Yeah.
she's gonna have her own solo film.
Solo.
I think that if they have some really great characters, like Dr. Fate, right? Like he's fucking badass. You know, they have Swamp Thing where they could actually make a Swamp Thing movie if they felt the need to, right? And then you have Constantine.
He's getting a live action, right?
He's getting live action, yeah.
Thing.
Yeah. They actually got some good characters, which is fine. I hope it's good, man. I really like Swamp Thing. I've always liked Swamp Thing, especially Alan Moore's Swamp Thing was fucking great. But I really wish it was more of a big screen thing than live action. To be honest with you,
They need that. They need the budget of a.
Yeah, the budget. Yeah,
movie.
definitely.
Great point. Yeah,
The Snyder Swamp Thing, that was good. Snyder's Swamp Thing was amazing.
Yeah.
That was New 52 Swamp Thing.
New 52.
So good.
Never read it.
Keanu Reeves can reprise his role as Constantine. As much as I love Keanu Reeves, that was not the man you want to play that guy.
I don't want him in anything.
No, you don't
want him in any film, anytime.
Listen, John Wick was a great film. Should have won the Oscars. Bill and Ted 3 coming out soon. Who could play Constantine? Not what we have now, right? Whatever the live action version, but in a film, right? Who do you have that could play a John Constantine?
That's a tough one, man. Because you need charisma. And
give it to Tom Hardy. Just let him be him. Let him be him. Fucking great. Let's do it.
They've been talking Colin Farrell over here.
Really?
Yeah. Tom Hardy's in too much.
Yeah.
Colin Farrell doesn't have that A-lister thing. He can get away with it.
I don't know. I like Tom Hardy. I think Tom Hardy's like Ryan Reynolds now. He's not been in a great comic book movie. You know what I mean? Like Ryan Reynolds went through so many shit comic book movies, and then he got Deadpool.
He did. My guy earned that shit.
Yeah, well, and I think Tom Hardy's gone through the same shit. Like I know a lot of folk like Venom, but it wasn't great. It wasn't brilliant, and Bane was terrible. And that wasn't his fault. That was just
he did what he could do. He did what he could do in that movie.
I think he could do a good Constantine, and I mean, I want him to find a good character, even if it's not Constantine. I want him to be in a good comic book character. I don't know if you've watched it because it wouldn't be bigger there, I don't think. But there's a movie over here called Legend.
That's where he plays him and his twin brother. I did watch it recently. I was just gonna bring that up. I love that movie. It's fucking. Dude. It's probably one of my favorite movies that he was in.
Yeah,
he's fucking great.
That's one of my favorite movies all time. Like this is the thing. Like I'm not a big John Wick fan of that because I don't like pointless action films, when they're just shooting everyone up and I'm skilled so I can kill everyone, right? Whatever. I like gangster films where it's actually entertaining. And that film was brilliant. Like, see that pub scene where it's like a schizophrenic walks in a bar and he just starts hammering people and that.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah, and it felt like two folk. I don't know about you, but he looked fatter as the other.
Yeah,
and it was meant so good.
It was great. He's such a good actor. I like that one. I also liked Warrior. Warrior was great.
Yes.
To me, Tom Hardy could play that guy that's just like, you're not gonna scare me, and that's what Constantine is, right? Like, Constantine sees all this crazy shit, and he doesn't flinch.
Yep.
Like it doesn't bother him. Kind of like Batman, I would say.
Yeah.
But Constantine deals with a lot of demonic shit, and he just smoking a cigarette, not giving a shit. You know what I mean? And I could see that kind of personality. Someone said Simon Pegg would be a decent if you can make him a little more gritty.
I don't know,
nah.
I'm trying to see it.
It's not for me.
I don't. I mean, I think it's because Constantine's he's a smart ass kind of. I mean, I could see Tom Hardy with that kind of dry humor. To me, Simon Pegg is just a very funny actor. Like, he's a funny guy, where Tom Hardy's not, so funny, but he could have that dry humor of a Constantine. You know what I mean? Like, kind of, badass, but, not a joke character, but, a very serious character who's very witty. So, I don't know. I'd be interested to see it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Simon Pegg I love Simon Pegg as much as the next guy. I've read his books and that, but he's a goofy character, you know what I mean? He doesn't really do serious. He's got one serious film and it's so shit I can't even remember what it's called. So man.
When it comes to Constantine, you do need a good true grit. That's it. You need true grit. You need to be made of steel. You need
to be British because Americans can't do British accents.
Well,
no offense, man.
Oh man, I'm just reading Kevin Smith met with Geoff Johns about making an animated Plastic Man movie.
Oh god.
Oh my! That he wrote the script. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but
I like Kevin Smith, but
I like Kevin Smith too.
reaches.
I don't know, man. That's gonna be funny if it does happen. I hope. I mean, who knows, right? Kevin Smith. I think I think he loves comics, so like, he's one guy. Like I would be like okay with seeing what he could come up with, right? You know, he's not in it for the money. He's in it for like, just for the love of it or whatever. But we'll see, man. I don't know, but I just found that interesting. Like that's what he wants to do. Like, hey, let's just make an animated Plastic Man film. Like I watch a lot of I just started watching Batman: Brave and the Bold, and Plastic Man's in there a ton. He's super funny. It's such a good show because they have all these like B-list heroes on it. Like you wouldn't even think that were, and they would put them in the cartoon or whatever. They had like Batmite there. They had Sergeant at Arms.
The Metal Man.
Yeah, dude. I was like, Doom Patrol.
At one point.
Huh?
Was Condiment King no in it at one
Condiment
point
King
as well?
was in there.
Yeah.
I mean, just like all these people, I'm just like, damn, this is what I want to see, right? Like, I enjoy like hokey Silver Age like villains, right? Like the Condiment King or the fucking, you know, the, what's his name? The fucking the calendar man or whatever.
Man.
Yeah, just like nonsense like that. Like give me all that because I enjoy that shit. I could watch that shit for days. Absolutely.
Oh, you really love it. Like going back to older stuff is the best. Like I think don't get me wrong, I'm not quoting this or anything, but I think Snyder's first Batman book was The Black Mirror, and he brought back Jim Gordon's stuff because everyone forgot about him.
Right.
And it was so true. Listening to I mentioned it, and you're like, oh, wait, yeah, that motherfucker had a son. And he brings him back as a psychopath, and that. But it's so good because the dude was in like a couple of books, and then suddenly us comic book geeks forgot about him. He's just orphaned off.
Right. Yeah.
And that's, to me, that's the best geeks because, you know, see if a writer can remember more than you can remember, you know they care about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's why Grant Morrison was so great. The amount of times he'd bring back folk like, well, look at fucking Damien. He's everywhere now.
Mm-hmm.
Morrison brought him back. Forgot about that wee bastard until he brought him back.
Damn. Yeah, dude. Speaking of that, like Doom Patrol is going to be awesome. My favorite run of Doom Patrol was Grant Morrison's run of Doom Patrol. Phenomenal writer. Really knows how to like push these characters in a way like that they can all tell their own story. So I'm looking forward to that. They were great on Teen Titans. I really enjoyed it. Brendan Fraser is Robot Man, which is great, and he's perfect for it. I can't wait for the series to come out. It's going to be live action as well. Should be out soon, honestly. Yeah. So, are you guys going to get the DC streaming service overseas, or like what's the deal?
They want it to go international, but Titans is coming out on Netflix, so I think they're going to see how all their stuff is doing on Netflix and other stuff like that before they try and take our money.
I just give them my money. It's all right.
Yeah,
Like
Chad.
Young Justice and all coming.
Chad told me the same thing. Where like Titans will release on Netflix. I think in a few days, so they could actually go and watch it. Don't sleep on Titans. Titans was great. A lot of people were like, well, you know, the characters. No. Go watch this fucking show. It's really good. You won't regret it. I mean, it has its ups and downs, but you could say that for almost every series. But the story was awesome. And, you know, the last episode was actually is Batman. Batman's in the episode. And they released the so like I guess the preview, whoever is like previewing the series or whatever, they release it. They released 10 episodes for them to watch, but they didn't release the Batman episode because they didn't want it to leak. So when they saw that there was an 11th episode, they were like, what? We never seen this one. And then, boom, it's Batman going ham and killing, you know, the Joker, killing the Riddler, just getting rid of his whole Rose Gallery. And then, you know, Nightwing or whoever's supposed to stop him. So watch that show. It's really good. That's why I talk about it so much, because like I don't want people to be like, well, the posters look like shit, the trailers look like shit, like I'm not interested. No, you have to really watch this show. It's great. I can't wait to see what they do with it.
Well, I've actually seen it.
I do want to get into it, but I've been so let down by CW. I know some of the guys in the club love the CW stuff, man, but I keep trying to watch it and trying to watch it, and it's just painful, man. But for what I've been seeing, it does, or well, hearing, it does seem like it's a lot better than that type of stuff. Like for me, the CW is all about love stories and teen bullshit, whereas this seems like it's actually dark and not so much about the teen style love story pish.
Yeah. I don't watch any of the CW shows. I don't watch any of the shows, but I'm gonna watch Titans.
I was trying to
watch everything.
I was trying to watch The Flash a little bit, but I couldn't get into it. I watched Arrow for a little bit. Again, I kind of just, kind of phased off. I watched Legends a little bit just because, like, I'm a huge fan of, like, Heat Wave and Captain Cold. Like, I fucking love those guys.
Right.
So I like them, but again, it's not something I kept up with. Not saying that they're bad, but because I never watched them, it just didn't interest me as much as I thought it would.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, definitely. I mean, this is the thing. Like, it's great because, like, our market now for comic books and comic book shows and that is it's so vast. So they have to make stuff for other people in different generations, and I guess that stuff is just not our generation. You know what I mean? It is a bit soft and a bit light and a bit love stories and that. And we're like, man, we just want to see them go ham. You just want to see them start.
James loves those love stories. Like, he told me he collects romance novels and romance comics. James, Comic Raider, he loves that shit. He told me.
He also writes his own ones.
He does write fiction. He does write fiction between characters and shit, and puts himself in the middle of it.
Each to their own.
Hey, good on him.
But just before we finish this, like, I'm going to go out, and Jay and Scott are just going to roll their eyes here. I watch all the CW shows. I like them. Arrow is on, what, its 7th season now? 7th season?
Shit, that's
man, it kicks ass.
Dude, you should have 2 minutes patches to say this shit, by the way.
What are you saying?
You should have waited till you got your patches to say that shit, man. There's got to be a shit.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I'm sure the comments will say something else.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
We're keeping your fee and you're not getting any patches.
They're buying their pull-list with your patch money. Yeah, man. I don't know. Maybe I'll pick up those shows and start watching them again. Maybe not.
I wouldn't bother.
Who knows?
No.
Who knows?
Just no.
Hey, what I did pick up was the Aquaman omnibus from InStockTrades.com, and as well as Super Sons from InStockTrades.com. I think it'll cost too much to ship internationally, so that's just for my US peeps.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I like to read my books in chunks, like big chunks instead of single issues, because I don't want to take up so much space in my home. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, damn.
That's what the boxes are for.
That's what the boxes are for. Gosh.
The problem is like, I mean, I love collecting single issues, but you lose. See, once you've got so many, you just lose them. Like, I opened up a box the other day and I was like, man, I've not read anything in this box. I've got an entire logo.
I've got a kind of OCD thing where I have to read them all by, like, I get them on the Wednesday and I have to read them by the Thursday, and then I have to stack them in their boxes, and then I'll go to bed, and then I'll turn around to my wife and I'll be like, yeah, I gotta go back into this closet here where I am right now. I gotta rejig the thing. There's too much going on, like boxes and boxes and boxes full of single issues. But I do like reading the volumes at the same time, especially if it's not a series, an arc, or a character that I'm following. I've got a load of Green Lantern here. Just one-off stories. I'm not a fan of Green Lantern, but the one-off stories are great.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's just my own opinion. I like darker things, but I've got the likes of Rage of the Red Lantern, Sinestro Corps War, Blackest Night. Blackest Night's my all-time favorite.
Yeah, that was a good read. But again, it's better in a volume because there's just so much went on with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so much.
I agree. So we're winding down here. No, it's late for you guys. It's starting to get late for me over here. So what are some of the goals for 2019 for the international chapter? What are some cons you guys are probably going to, and like what do you guys have in store for, internationally for us?
Well, we've got a lot going on as the club does itself. Because I mean, sometimes you can't really tell what's around the corner, as you know yourself. You started this podcast up last year, and although it was kind of rumoured, you never knew where it was going to go, and it's went huge. But for us, we've got a lot of different cons. It's hard for us to meet up at cons like an entire chapter would do, because we've got a guy that's he's from Sweden but lives in the Netherlands. So trying to even track him down is the hardest part, because we don't. He just goes from country to country. We've got obviously a guy for Ireland, a couple for England, but one of the biggest cons we're going to is Edinburgh Comic Con in April, which one of our guys is coming up for England, Adam, also known as Comics England, funnily enough. And we're actually going to have a wee ad in the booklet for that con.
That's awesome.
So if you guys are coming along to that con, make sure you pick up the booklet. It'll have a lot of information about us as a group and what we do, or well, a club more than a group. So there'll be 3 members at that, at least. We have the MCM Glasgow that we go to every year. That's at least 2 Scottish members always go to that. I believe a few of the other guys are going to go to MCM London, which is one of the biggest in the UK. So we'll have a couple of members at that. So as always, just look out for the patches, because we'll have loads of stickers and stuff on with us. We're going to try and get on a couple more podcasts, but as you know, the timing is, it's 10 to 3 in the morning for us now, so it's not so easy, especially families, jobs and whatnot. But
I'm loving the early mornings. It's great.
So we are trying on this a bit more. We're also going to be enrolling in April and October. Now that our chapter is finally up and running, we will take in the same amount of numbers as everyone else, hopefully, depending on the enrollees. That's all depends on who wants to join. As I said, that being said, we are also looking to meet up with other geeks. Sounds a bit like a dating site thing, meet there, but it's not. Just even if you don't want to be in the club and you just want to meet up, talk comics, go shopping, hit us up. And if we're in your area or even nearby, we'll definitely meet up and do some crazy shit.
Nice. So more than likely before, let's say, April enrollment, we'll probably have some of the presidents on, the VPs. We'll do it where it's a good time for you guys, where you guys could actually be up and not have to stay into the wee hours in the morning. So we can have you guys on. We really want to get everybody out there talking and talking about the club, and especially for you guys too, which is this international chapter. For me, it's really exciting, right? Because it's such a new area for us as a club, and Jay's a great guy, and you guys are, just the international guys themselves are, you guys are great. Always have a fun time talking to you, see what you guys are posting. It's always interesting to me to see collectors from, it's easy to find collectors in the States, but see collectors from around the globe. It's totally eye opening. It's a different experience, and it's very educational too. You learn a ton. So for me, I'm very excited to see that. So I'm sure before open enrollment goes on, we'll have another podcast, and we'll do it when it's a good time for everyone for Merc with a Beard and Steve and yourself, and we'll get you guys on. We'll get you guys talking, and just those flyers I think are awesome. I got to see it, and I think that's going to help bring a lot of eyes to us, but especially to you guys, for new members. It's nothing like this club here. It's really, like Jay said, we're a dysfunctional family, but we're still a family. And no matter where around the world you'll always find a Fiend. And I think that's pretty fucking incredible, But yeah, I mean, for me, like, that's the best part of being in this club. There's times where I wake up at 3 a.m. my time, and Jay's like shooting me a message, so I'm like talking to Jay while I'm like washing my face or whatever, or can't sleep, and it's pretty cool. So definitely one of the best parts of being in this club. Scott, anything you're looking forward to in this new year?
I'm going to WonderCon at the
That's
end of March.
right. Now, is that your first time coming to the States?
Not my first. It'll be my first con in the States. Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting.
Taking all my money.
Well, I think your dollar will go further here too. Right?
No, I think
No?
so. Not at the moment. No. we get less dollars now.
Do you? Oh shit!
It's
I don't know the
probably
conversion
worst
rate.
time. It's the worst time for me to come.
Good.
But it's fine. I get to meet the guys from the West. So.
Which is great. Absolutely. Cool. So when's that? That's in when? March? April?
Yeah, end of March. Yeah, end of March.
Nice. Cool.
And I'll be at MCM London in May. I'm gonna try and get to Scotland at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
Depending on how broke I am.
From coming to the States, America taking all your money. Yeah, dude. So Jay, hit me up. We'll see if we get some press passes for those cons for you guys, and so that we can get some good coverage. Hopefully, get some interviews and really represent. So, yeah, I mean, well, that's it for me. I guess that's it for us. I want to thank you guys so much for coming on.
Just one.
Oh, sorry.
One thing. I actually meant to say it was in international. We've just started doing charities and that as well because that's what we do as a con. So we decided to start up this Comics for Christmas thing. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that donated. I know there was stuff going in Canada and stuff going in America. He's all done brilliant, especially one of the guys, Tom in the West. He killed it. He ended up with 2,000 plus books. But for us, the first international one that we did, and obviously our man sitting over there, the Irish one, got some. We got some in the UK and we got some in the Netherlands, which was absolutely brilliant because it's great to see that we can now branch this out because the club's always done charities work, always has and always will, but it was mostly American style stuff. So we were sending books over to use, and that's when I thought, like, now that we've started up, let's get this stuff going in our own areas, which not only helps the club but also helps people who are here because not everyone can send their books out to America or that. I mean, some of the stuff we get shipped a certain way. I'll not get into the politics of how we get stuff sent over, but if we were to do it normally, you can talk up to $200 to ship over patches here, which is a lot of money. You can imagine if someone's got a pile of comics to send for a charity, we don't want to be hit with £150 odd because you're like, well, I'm not going to send it anymore, no out of nastiness, but just due to the fact that it's charity, we can't be out of pocket. So doing charities in here has got to be a big thing over the next year. So thank you to everyone that's helped us start this up, helped us start the chapter up, but most of all helped in Comics and Christmas because you made a lot of kids in hospital a good day, and we even got a wee letter back and everything, so it's been brilliant. Thank you so much.
Good.
Excellent. Wonderful. Well, that's a great way to leave off. So we want to wish you guys from the Comic Book Fiend Club, we want to wish you guys a happy and healthy new year. This is the last show of the year, so yeah, man, just happy new year, everyone. Be safe, don't drink and drive, have a good time. I'm sure once January comes around, a bunch of people are gonna have announcements of babies coming. Usually that's what happens after New Year's. So congrats to Jay for his lovely daughter, man. She's beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Congrats,
I was just about to say, if you want a kid, you can take my one.
Oh man, so with that, guys, thank you so much. Have a good night. We'll check you out next week. Peace.